Now I'm going to demonstrate dramatizing the story of Ducky by Eve Bunting and illustrated by David Wisniewski. This lesson is to teach subtraction. You can also use it to teach more and less, and you can also use it to teach about subitizing. You can see my big blue parachute that I use here to represent the ocean. The story is about tub toys that are floating on the ocean after a big storm. And these beautiful puppets made by my colleague Ingrid Crepo represent the tub toys. If you don't happen to know a master puppeteer, remember you can always use real tub toys, which I've also done with classroom teachers who had a wonderful collection of other toys that we could use. So don't be discouraged by my use of the puppets today. First, I spread out this parachute and introduced the ocean to the children and the idea that we're going to be pretending today that this is the ocean. This is a very exciting prop, so it's important that we learn how to use it safely and that the children are exposed to this exciting prop before we start the dramatization, because it's a lot of stimulation at one time. I spread the parachute out so that everybody has some of it in front of them like this. And we practice making waves that we will be doing while we're dramatizing the story. We want to make ocean waves with the parachute. So we'll practice stopping and going. When I say go, we can make waves. When I say freeze, it means stop. And we practice that enough times so that it becomes sort of an automatic response, and they're used to having that freeze reaction whenever I say that word. Very important to establish that at the beginning so that you have that under control. Then, for dramatizing the story, I distribute the puppets all over the parachute. I might put them out on the parachute in groups. That's where the subitizing part comes in. That's the ability to look at a group of objects and say how many are in the group without counting them. So I might say, how many red tub toys did I just put in the ocean? And see if they can see how many, if they can understand that that's 2. I'll spread the puppets out so that there is enough room for the children to have some personal space. They're not too close to each other. After I've distributed the props all over the parachute, I'll invite the children up one at a time to come pick up a puppet and sit in that spot, holding their puppet. I might also remind them at this point that when we get to the part of the story where the shark or the sea serpent might be coming after their tub toy, they can't swim away because they're just a tub toy. They're floating, and if the shark comes, oh, it might be scary, but that's also part of the fun. So after the children are seated on the parachute with their tub toys, someone gets to come up and select from among the predator or the more playful puppets. Sometimes the dolphins come and they take the tub toys home to play with. Sometimes it's a shark who might try to eat tub toys, but we all know sharks don't eat tub toys. But those tub toys float away from the rest. So that's part of the fun, is getting to be the predator and going after the toys. This is where the subtraction comes in, because we start off with X number of tub toys floating on the parachute. In this case, we would count out with the children 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And maybe the shark comes and eats up 1, and that child will bring their puppet back to the edge of the parachute. 2, 3, and then we'll stop and we'll say, all right, we started out with 8 tub toys floating in the ocean. The shark came and ate. How many? We'll count the ones being held by the children on the edge of the rug. 1, 2, 3. How many are left in the middle? And we'll count how many are left. 5. We start out doing this very experientially. Later on, then, you can write the number sentences up on the board so that the children can see the relationship between what they're dramatizing and what the number sentence looks like. Then, when we have just 1 puppet left at the end, or maybe 2, that's the one that gets to go home. and be in the bathtub with the little boy who finds it. And then it's fun to make some waves and blow some bubbles to make a bubble bath for the grand finale. And that's the end. That's the story of Ducky.